Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back. It is Mark from Boozy and Bezel. I promise you, it is not an imposter that looks just like me, aka my little brothers. I did get a haircut. Weird. No backwards hat, no bangs in back of my... Yeah, it's a little strange for me as well. I lost like 16 and a half pounds from the haircut. I'm kidding. But yeah. Welcome to another rye video. Everyone knows that Alexa loves her rye. She knows that I do too. It's like a match made in heaven. Don't tell Melissa. But she doesn't listen either. Alexa doesn't listen either. Of course, now she's listening. So let's kick it off with a wrist check. Today I am wearing actually a this is the most sentimental piece in my collection. This was my grandfather's Timex. Nothing fancy, nothing special, but it was his. And he had it, he actually was wearing it when he passed away. And yeah, it is a very, this piece means a lot to me. It was, it's a quartz movement, it's the indigo loom, which I absolutely love. It's on a watch strap. I don't remember where this is from. I've had it forever. This was broken for quite some time, and it took me a while for me to fix it myself because it's not an expensive watch. It's a cheap Timex, and it was challenging to find parts for this. I actually had to build it out of multiple quartz Timexes. But yeah, this piece to me means the world, and I'm very thankful to have it. I have 2 watches from him. I'll wear the other one in a video coming up. Yeah, and I wear this. I wear this all the time. I also am hesitant because I obviously don't want to break it either. And he had this on the strap was slightly too small for it, which is very unique and just funny. It's something he would do. Unfortunately, the strap was too small for my wrist. I do have fairly large ape wrist, so I couldn't wear it. But I still have that strap, which I find really cool. Yeah. So let's get into some whiskey, some rye whiskey at that. So we're going to do some High West. What better than rye whiskey than High West, right? Like, hello? Like, yeah, the High West. So a lot of people have seen High West around. They are, they're based out of Utah. Park City actually is where they started. They make some really cool juice. They make some limited editions, some normal stuff. Yeah. So High West started, like I said, at Park City, Utah, by husband and wife duo, David Parks and his wife, Jen. David was a trained biochemist, scientist. I'm seeing trends. I am seeing trends. I'm seeing my future. Beer distillery. I think I'm onto something. I'm just kidding. I'm not onto anything. This is what I want to do, a distillery or brewery my entire life. Anyways, David saw the similarities between his work as a biochemist and distilling booze. So he decided, let me start a distillery. I wish I could have done that. I still can. 2006 is when he decided to do this in Park City, Utah. Him and his wife had up and moved. They originally started with a 250-gallon small still inside their little saloon style storefront, basically. But they quickly realized 250 gallons wasn't going to do it for them. So they started to outsource a lot of their whiskey. And where does everyone outsource their stuff from? Hello, MGP, the goddess of outsourced whiskey. And they eventually, in 2015, had opened up their distillery big enough that they could actually start making their own juice. So that they now have 4 locations. 4. That's awesome, right? Most distilleries have 1. But yeah, High West has 4 locations around Utah. They have the original Park City. They have their largest that had just opened in 2015, and I believe they just installed a 1,600-gallon still. That's huge. So they can start pumping out their own stuff. And there you can get High West pretty much all over the world. So this little tiny brand that had started in a tiny little garage style saloon in 2006 by husband and wife with a 250 gallon still is now world renowned, right? You can get them internationally. I saw them in the UK. That to me is absolutely amazing. But yeah, so like I said, they do use MGP juice. They are now making their own stuff that they now mix in, which is pretty cool. They used to use MGP in Barton. Barton, you can't get Barton anymore. Barton rye whiskey is, well, it's in High West. Old stuff. If you can find vintage bottles 2016, 2017, High West, that stuff is old too, like 16 years old, 17 years old. Grab them. Don't think twice. Forget this review. Get them. Yeah. High West is known, right, for they have a few core collections, then they also have limited. To me, they shine in their limited. They have Burr Rye. They have a Midwinter's Night's Drum. They have, as of now, Campfire. And a new person to this limited edition releasing, I should say, is the Rendezvous Rye. And I'm not too sure how I feel about that. The Rendezvous Rye got moved from their core collection and is now in their limited collection. What they're doing for the whole thing is really, really cool. And the new Rendezvous bottles are actually going to be artist series, which is, I find that really cool. But I'm not sure I feel that, Rendezvous Rye is now limited. Some of these limited High West can get up there in price. Retail, not bad. A Midwinter's, retail $100. However, stores say, ooh, limited, let's charge whatever the fuck we want. $200, $300? No. So I am concerned with that. With that happening with the Rendezvous Rye. I hope it doesn't happen. But stores and distribution companies can get greedy. So I think we should dig into this Rendezvous Rye, right? Whoa. I almost just dropped it. So this Rendezvous Rye is batch 19, so it was 2019. And like I said, it is now a limited bottling. So this is the old label, and it is, very basic, similar to all the other High West, very Western style wanted poster, which is really, really cool. And this is the new, the new bottling. The new yearly releases each year will be a different artist, which again I find really cool. The first batch will be done by Ed Mell. He's known for doing famous artwork of Arnold Schwarzenegger, so he is a more well-known artist. It would be really cool if they do artwork with artists that aren't exactly that are up and coming. I definitely think that would be cool. So this particular one, this is a new batch, 2019, is made with a blend of MGP and High West. If you find batches 2017 and 16, like I was saying, or in the vintage batches, those are made with Barton and MGP. And the Barton is 16 years old in those. It's pretty high. So I if you see one of those and you don't want to pick it up, let me know. I'll buy it off of you. But so this particular one is 4 to 7 years. It's a 95.5 malted barley mash bill from MGP. Then it's 80-20 malted rye from High West's own distillery. So this is their own juice now. They come in around $70, and like I was saying earlier, I am genuinely concerned with them raising the prices. Not High West, but stores raising the prices since it is limited. I picked this up actually on sale for $55, which was not uncommon before. High West does go on sale. And this is a modest 46%. So it's 43 is to me a little bit low, but 46 at a rye, that is a nice point. It is in new charred white American oak barrels. One thing I love about High West and David Perkins is that they're very honest. If you go to their website, you can look up your bottle, you can look up what's inside of it. To me, that shows transparency, right? They even state non-chilled filtered, no color added right on the bottle. So they're very transparent. I really like that. A lot of people like that. And appearance-wise with this bottle, I love High West bottles. They do have a bunch of air bubbles inside the glass, which is cool as hell. High West Distillery with their logo, with the horseshoe logo, with the mountain in High West, is actually embossed on the glass. Cool as hell. Yeah, overall, they kill it on this. I fairly enjoy it. Let's crack this guy. Cork's kind of cool too. It is a wooden cork with a standard cork inside. And I did forget to mention earlier, this was moved out of their core range. Their core range consists of double rye and American Prairie bourbon. That's it. They said they're trying to focus on themselves as a brand and see what new things they can come up with, which is why they had moved this limited, which I can find that commendable. They did say they want to focus on themselves a little bit. They are making great stuff, but hopefully they kick off some of their other stuff. They probably want to really kick off their. They want to kick off their own stuff that they're distilling in-house. They've only been distilling in-house really since 2015. That's my assumption as to what they're doing, but, this has 80-20 of their own juice in here. I don't know the proportions. It does say that is proprietary on their website. This does have MGP. This isn't very MGP, so I'm assuming it's going to be lower end on their stuff, but I'm excited to see what they do. I'm excited for their own 100% self-made distillate. I think that'll be really cool. All right. Let's dig into this Rendezvous rye. Oh yeah. On the nose, it's got a nice spice to it. Woody. It definitely has a wood scent to it. Maybe sandalwood or teak wood. I'm pretty sure Melissa has a candle that has one of those scents in it. I don't remember exactly what it is, but she absolutely loves it. Burns it all the time. That's the scent that I'm picking up in this. She has not burned it today, so I'm not smelling it from that. There's also a little bit of a leathery and a citrus note here. I'm definitely picking up the leather stuff. I was working with the leather stuff a few hours ago, so got that scent strong in my head. Yeah, definitely a little citrus. There's some caramel behind this. Citrus is maybe orange, but don't quote me on that, but it's definitely citrusy here. So, spice wood, teak wood or sandalwood, leather and citrus. Freshly cut leather, I would say. And some caramel. Definitely. Alright, well, let's go in for a sip. Cheers. That's some good stuff. Some good shit. Man, the palate, spicy. That citrus comes back. I'm getting that wood again. Like I said, I'm not too sure if it's sandalwood or teak wood. Some vanilla and some caramel there. It's definitely some MGP flavor profile. Yeah. Spicy, citrus, woody. A little bit of leather. I actually have a stroke board for my knife. It's a thick piece of vegetable tan leather and a chunk of solid wood. And when I'm sharpening my knives, it's kind of with the scent is what I'm tasting. Kind of like that. It's very faint, but citrus and spice and caramel, vanilla, and very faint wood in there. That's good. One more. I'm not gonna hurt anyone. Except for maybe me. Finish is, the wood comes back a little bit. Spice kind of fades off. Finish of this is not terribly long. Definitely not terribly long. Yeah. It's definitely, I want to say it's definitely lower percent MGP. That's probably the 7-year stuff inside this. Their 4-year-old is probably their own distillate, which would probably explain the finish on that. But I'm not 100% sure. Alright, I'm gonna go for another sip. Oh yeah. So good. High West kills it. The new limited bottling will not change mash bills, so it still will be the 95.5 MGP and the 80/20 own distillate. When that does change, I'm sure they'll make a huge announcement, which is really cool. That they didn't change the juice, just changed the bottling, and when you can buy it. So it just released 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Oh my God, it's almost June. It's 4 weeks ago. They released it at the beginning of March, and so I'm assuming it'll be yearly in March is when they release this stuff. You know what? I think we should get some double rye out here. High West double rye. Right off the bat, the color is different. The Rendezvous is definitely a deeper amber, but this is more like a yellow gold. Double rye. What the freak is a double rye? So, with an exclamation point. Don't forget that. Oh my God, I'm missing it. Double rye exclamation point. This is a batch 20, it's 2020. So the mash bills are slightly different, just like a wee bit different. Not much. Still 95.5 MGP and 80/20 High West. However, the age range drops slightly, 2 years to 7 years, and they do say on the website 2 years is their own stuff, 7 years is MGP. Otherwise, this is pretty much identical. Double rye, again, used to be all MGP, 95.5. It did change slightly. I, unfortunately, have not been able to get a hold of any older bottlings of any of their stuff, except for Burr Rye. And I definitely think it would be fun to do a comparison to that. But today, we're doing a comparison between these two. Same exact bottle. Yeah, literally, the bottles are identical. Really cool. I'm a fan of these bottles. I like when companies do good bottles. Front artwork. So again, this is the lost, like the wanted poster style. It says the front artwork was made by David Leventhal, 1989. I don't know who that is. I apologize if he's someone famous. The cool thing too about the Park City location, their saloon, is you can actually ski. It's right by a ski resort in Park City, which is I gotta go to work tomorrow. What am I doing? Keep filling that guy up. Which is really cool. I definitely want to visit High West. I know a few people that have, and they say it's a great time. Oh yeah. Noses are definitely different. Oh yeah, definitely different. Sorry. This one's more of a bitey nose. Getting a slight mint, some cinnamon, decent amount of cinnamon there. The wood's there. It is not sandalwood or teakwood. Pine. Yeah, this has remnants of me falling out of a pine tree in my mom's backyard. It's a little bit sweeter, and there's also a hint of maybe the sweetness might be dark chocolate, but there's a ton of spice. That pine is, wow. Now that I put that to that, and that memory of me falling out of the tree that has now since been cut down, but I did fall out of that tree, and my face smashed like every single branch on the way down. Like thump, thump, and every time bark just went up my nose and sap, and I remember branches snapping, and it was just sniffing all that stuff. Oh, it's terrible. Pretty sure when I went inside all beat up, my mom just laughed hysterically, because that's what my mom does when I was injured as a kid. I remember I broke my fingers, and she's like, just laughing, and I'm like screaming in pain, and I fell skateboarding, and she's like, ah, ha, 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 oh my god, you're injured, ha, ha. Whatever. So nose, slight mint, cinnamon, the wood, the pine. My God, I cannot flash back to that terrible memory that I had cut out of my head for so long. It's definitely a little bit different. Sweeter, dark chocolate. Not getting any citrus, but some spice. Let's go in for a sip. Cheers. In your face, spice, cinnamon. Wow. I just got slapped in the face with the spice and rye. A little bit of mint. Oh my God, that spice just like busted through. I'm here for the party. That is what the rye just said to me. Wow. Let's see what that exclamation point means. Just like, yeah, we're here. Get some mint, a little bit of mint, sweet vanilla and caramel. Definitely on that palate. So it's very similar to Rendezvous, but wow, so much more spice and rye. Oh my God, I actually really hurt my hand just punching it there. Went a little too hard. Oh fuck. It's my pipetting hand too. Oh. Yeah, oh my God, I'm an idiot. I can't, the spice, double rye. I understand that double rye now. Finish is actually a little bit better than the Rendezvous. It's sweet, it's a little bit longer. Cinnamon and vanilla kind of just fade off. It's good. I'm gonna go for another sip, because I need to ease the pain of my hand at this point. So good. That pine. Whoa, that pine on the nose was insane. It was so good though. All right. Moment of truth. Would I recommend these two guys? Now, there's a huge price difference. 30 to 35, 70. You can get this on sale for under 30. The double rye. Rendezvous you can get on sale for 55. Double rye I know is available internationally. I actually saw this at a little tiny liquor store when I was in Edinburgh. I don't remember seeing Rendezvous. Yeah, so when it comes to price value, I think they're both very good in their own way. Double rye, $30, $35 is my go-to rye in that area, especially since it is mostly 95.5. The Rendezvous, I definitely say, is something that you need to have in your collection, especially if it's vintage, and if you're a rye guy. I am a rye guy, so of course I have this. And I'm very interested to collect the new bottles, specifically to have on display with the new artwork. I would pay $70 for this. I would sure as hell pay $55 for this all day long. No questions asked. Ryes tend to be more expensive, as we all know. And I think that this is great. And I think it's really interesting what they're doing, right? Very similar mash bills, slightly younger for the double rye, slightly older for this. I think High West shines in their limited editions and their harder to get stuff. Burr rye is one of my favorites. I actually just scored a bottle of a vintage semi-recently, and I was excited for that. Very random. I have a bottle of Midwinters. I will fight people every year for that. Look out. Yippee-ki-yay, I'm very sad I do not have one of those. I do know someone with a lot. Maybe he will share a bottle. But I definitely think High West is a distillery. If you're not familiar with them, you need to check them out. I say get these, no questions asked. If you can't double the money on it, go double rye all day, every day. If I only had $30 a month to spend on booze, this is coming home with me almost probably 8 or 9 months out of the year. The other ones, I'll leave that for another day. But yeah, I definitely need both of them. All right, I think we should ask our friend, her over there, blue thing, what bottle we should do next week. Hey Alexa, pick a random number between 1 and 5.
Your random number between 1 and 5 is 1.
1. We're doing a scotch. We're going back to Scotland. Oh yeah. I am not doing that ever again. That is not Scotland. Anyways, I will see you next week with a scotch and my kilt. We're doing this. We're doing it. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think of High West, just in general, or any of these two bottlings. When I grabbed High West for rye, I picked these. In full disclosure, Midwinters is one of my favorite ryes. But I would not feel good reviewing that and you guys wanted to go and find it, because you wouldn't be able to. So that is why. Whatever. I am at this point rambling. You guys have a fantastic rest of your Thursday. Have a great holiday weekend for those that are off on Friday and Monday, or just Monday. Stay safe. Cheers. Have a good one.